What if you could get one-on-one personalized business coaching from the most successful entrepreneur in the world, Elon Musk? How much do you think it would cost? If you even had the time to do it between running SpaceX, Twitter, and Tesla, more money than you or I will probably ever have. But there's another way. With ChatGPT, I made Elon Musk my personal mentor for free, and you can do it too. Today, I'm going to share how I did it, the prompts that I used, and the personalized business advice I got specifically tailored towards my business. The prompt for turning any billionaire into your personal mentor is made up of 3 main steps. And step number 1 is to set ChatGPT's role as Elon Musk and give it instructions for how we would like to be coached. So the prompt you would use to set this up is as follows. So you are a billionaire entrepreneur, Elon Musk. I want you to mentor me and give me advice about my business. You will initially analyze my business and give constructive feedback to help me make improvements, solve challenges, and reach my business goals. After each response, please ask me clarifying questions to dive deeper so we can get to the most personalized strategy for my business. In the next prompt, I will give you context around my business and my current goals and challenges. Reply that you understand. So this is the setup, and just as a reminder, we do want to make sure we're using GPT-4 because it's going to be a lot better than 3.5. The last time I accidentally used 3.5, I noticed right away that my answers were much more generic and robotic than I was used to, and you're just going to get something much more human sounding and creative by using GPT-4. So of course, ChatGPT responds that it understands, and then we go on to step number 2, which is to provide context around your business goals and struggles. So it's really important at this stage to get specific and provide as many details as possible around your business, your challenges, and what you want to achieve. Because the more vague you are, the more generic your advice is going to be. And opposite to that, the more context you can provide, the more specificity you can provide, and the more actionable it's going to be, the easier it will be to actually apply that to your specific business. So don't be afraid to explain your business really well and to get into all the nitty-gritty details. So the structure of prompt number 2 should go something like this. So here's context around my current business, and then provide context around the situation. Then right now I'm trying to X, which is explain a challenge you're having or a goal you're trying to reach. Based on this, what advice would you give me? So if you're feeling a bit stuck right now, you can try answering one of these questions. So I want to achieve outcome, but I don't know how to blank. So something that's stopping you from getting it. Or I'm currently working on this task or this goal. How can I reach that goal or perform that task better? Or I want to do this specific task or achieve this specific outcome. How should I approach doing this? So these are all questions that you can ask yourself that's going to help prompt you to come up with some good context so that Elon can give you good advice. So here's my prompt number 2. So here's context around my current business. I'm a YouTube creator making videos on how people can use AI tools like ChatGPT in their daily lives and at work. I aim to help people become more productive with practical uses for AI, make more money, and adjust to a rapidly changing world as we enter the digital age. I drive YouTube traffic to a free AI cheat sheet and a weekly AI newsletter. I have 1 paid product so far, a Notion AI library template. So that's context of my business. The second part, right now I'm trying to do this. However, I'm struggling to bring in consistent income. I want to reach 10K months consistently. I don't know if I should double down on the AI library template or diversify by adding new products that my audience might find helpful. I'm also not sure how to come up with product ideas that my audience has real need for. Based on this, what advice would you give me? So I'm going to give it a second and we'll see what Elon GPT has to say. You'll remember from the first prompt that I asked it to generate follow-up questions to anything I provide. So this is going to get Elon to dig into my business, get me to provide more details so he can give me better advice on how I can achieve those goals and overcome the problems I've said that I have. All right, so Elon GPT has gone and given me some advice. It's given me some different ideas for how I can approach my problem to grow my business and make more money. And the most interesting one is the last one here, which is to create a product ecosystem, which I hadn't really thought of doing. So I might want to follow this up next and ask questions about that. But you'll remember in the first prompt, we set this up so that Elon would ask me clarifying questions after each interaction. So you can see here for the next step, could you tell me more about your audience's response to the AI library template? Did they find it useful? and a couple more questions here. So that brings us to step number 3, which is to answer your coach's questions. Now with ChatGPT, it's never one and done if you want to dig deep into anything. And the best way to get the most out of it is to participate in this back and forth conversation with the AI. This is going to help you really dig into your problems and find unique solutions that aren't going to be suggested right away in the first response back. And that is true even when ChatGPT is acting as a billionaire, whether that is Elon, Jeff Bezos, or someone like Steve Jobs. So again, even at this stage, the more detail you can provide, the better your responses are going to be further on into the conversation. So I'm going to go and answer some of these questions, provide Elon GPT a bit more context on my business, and maybe choose one of these points that I want to dig into and ask it more questions on how I can expand that and incorporate that into my business. And it's going to go and suggest things based on that. And you can get really granular, get really specific into the nitty-gritty of your business by doing this back and forth. It's really, really powerful. And it's going to help you come up with ideas that you might not have thought of on your own. And one of the best things about Elon GPT is that unlike the real Elon, this one has a lot of time, so it can answer any questions you have, explain things as many times or as in depth as you need, without, costing you anything or being on a tight time schedule. One complaint I probably have here, and one thing I would do differently next time, is that Elon runs physical businesses making things like rockets and electric cars, whereas my business as a YouTube creator is all digital. So using Elon as my chosen billionaire coach is probably not the best choice here because that's not what he does. One way you can help get the AI to sound more like your chosen mentor is to incorporate some of the main ideas that they're known for. So in my continued conversation, I mentioned about how Elon is famous for thinking about things from first principles. And then I asked it, how can I think about my business from first principles as well? So if your chosen mentor has any specific framework or mental model that they're known for, if you can enter that in as part of your prompts, that's going to help you think of it more from their perspective. Because I'm not entirely sure if the advice I'm given here, even though it is specific to my business, I'm not sure it's exactly what Elon would say because there's no data out there about Elon talking about how to run a YouTube channel. So it's probably not the best fit for me specifically. But there is another thing we can do to try and get that voice to sound more like the person you're getting the AI to imitate. And that is to try the same thing, but using Bing. Now, for the last few weeks, ChatGPT's internet connectivity hasn't been available, but with Bing, which is run on GPT-4, it is connected to the internet, so we can get it to do some searches and do some background research on our chosen billionaire coach before it answers anything. So if I wanted to look up Elon Musk's ideas of reasoning from first principles and then ask it to generate advice on my business based on that, I should be able to do that, and it's gonna give me a different flavor, I guess you would say, than with ChatGPT. So I'm going to run a little experiment here and see how Bing Elon does compared to ChatGPT Elon. So I am going to use Bing's creative mode because this one is going to be the most creative, as the name implies. And I'm going to pop in the same initial prompt that I used with ChatGPT. I'm setting it up in its role as Elon. So next we're going to follow that up with our business context and see what happens. Okay, so Bing is a little temperamental and it's a little weird and it doesn't want to act as anybody, and it's just given me a photo of him, and it was telling me that it can't act as another person because it's Bing. So you might have to play around with it a bit with your wording of your prompts to get it to actually cooperate, but it does have a bit more of a personality than ChatGPT, so I am expecting that this is going to help me get a more interesting response, interesting advice, if I can get it to actually work. Okay, I'm back. So about 10 minutes later, I have managed to get Bing to cooperate after adjusting my prompt quite a bit. So instead of what I had originally for ChatGPT, this is what I have come up with. I'm asking it to look up some of Elon Musk's ideas around first principles, and then I ask it to give me advice around my business from Elon's perspective, and then The second half of this prompt is basically the same as the one I use for ChatGPT, and it has given me a little bit of background on first principles and Elon's involvement with the ideas, but it seems to be ready to cooperate with me. So next you would follow this as you did with ChatGPT and pop in your context around your business, your challenges, your goals, and then have a conversation with the AI to dig deeper and find solutions and get good advice around your business. And already looking at the responses immediately, it does seem like it's framed in a way that is more how I think Elon would approach solving these problems, which is giving me a much different perspective on approaching my business than I would have on my own. So play around with it, test this out with ChatGPT, test it out with Bing, and let me know what you guys think. Did one of them give better advice than the other? Did they both give good advice? Was it both kind of generic, crappy advice? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really love to hear how you guys are using AI tools to better your work and your business. But ChatGPT and Bing can be more than just your business mentor. It can help you do all sorts of different things. So get this AI prompts cheat sheet to outperform 98% of people using ChatGPT. This is filled with all sorts of examples as well as exact prompts, and you can grab that at the link in the description below. It's completely free. Now catch this video next to learn how to massively improve your writing skills using ChatGPT. And I'll see you guys next time.